Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through the big quaddie at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. But before we get stuck into that, we know we've got some feature racing over in Ascot this weekend. Good old Tommy Melbourne's going to keep the Golden West entertained. But Mike, a small reflection on last week. Gay Waterhouse, we had a good result, but gee, she let us down a couple of those, didn't she? Savapinski, Kubica Devata, they just went pop.
Yeah, the first two legs of the quaddie were a disaster for us, weren't they? But what you do as punters, two $2.50 favourites going around so short in the market, obviously.
True.
Both pulling up lame for the same stable, Waterhouse and Bob. What a fantastic stable they are. They've had such a great spring, but watch with caution from now on. It's so hard to swallow for punters, isn't it?
That was tough to follow, but look, there's trainers, there's jockeys, there's these horses. Everything's just got to come together on the day. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more theatre out there at Rosehill Gardens this weekend. But before we get to the card, Mike, anything else earlier than the quaddie this weekend you might have had a look at?
Yeah, we don't usually talk about the early card, do we? But there's a really good race. I think it's race 2, Star Sensation on pace. Heliosphere surging her with a massive surge late. It's going to be a cracking race. We're going with the filly on pace, though. We think she can win at good odds.
Good stuff. Well, there's a couple early on. Let's get stuck into the quaddie now. In the first leg, Mike, Mark Hughes Foundation, they've been so good for racing of late. They're going to be presented with a $33,000 cheque from the ATC and connections of Australian Bloodstock due to Brave Smash coming third in the Everest, of which they've just walked the Everest. So, mate, this is a great cause, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of beanies out there for the cause on Saturday.
Yeah, 33 grand. We'd like a piece of that for the quaddie. We have a great initiative from the ATC, and yeah, get your beanies for brain cancer. It's a great initiative, and I've got mine at home, and you can buy yours next year when they come back in stock, I think. But let's get cracking with the first leg of the quaddie. The beanie for brain cancer handicap, like we said, a benchmark 90, 1400 metres. The rail's out 6 metres on Saturday. It's a drying track, good 3 to good 4. Sometimes that can mean on pace, but we've had so much racing at Rosehill, haven't we, Stu, lately? Yep. It could be off rails after getting chopped up last week, and just a steady tempo to kick us off. So across the 3 key factors for this first leg of the quaddie, we're playing that steady tempo, so we're playing position and run. That's got to be a key factor for us. And the first 2, the firm, good track and stage of preparation, they're the 3 things that will make the difference, we think.
Well, let's have a look at the market to kick things off in the quaddie this weekend at Rosehill Gardens. It is the first leg. It is race 6, a new universe, bouncing back to winning ways last start, on top at $3.30. Solid money here for Flow, in from $4.60 to $3.50 today. First hand there, a little nibble too, racing so well. Third, first, second this prep, in from $4.60 as well. Invincible, well, one out of nowhere last start and blew a few quaddies out in the process. Time to Talk, the other one under $10, which is okay behind Invincible there. But look, punters can hardly split these top 3, Mike, Universe, Flow and First Hand.
Yeah, we don't like Invincible, do we? We're not going to have a look at that win last start because we missed that one, but 3 favourites. We can look at 2 replays in the show. So we'll start with one of them down in Melbourne last start, New Universe at Ballarat. Look, he was pretty poor the start before this. I think it was during the carnival at Flemington, way back in the pack, but he improved third up with a few gear changes, comes to the outside. Love his desire here, Stu.
Massive improvement, as you said, and he just ranges up to this horse, Aussie Choice, and they clear out from the west, so got to love that, and got to love the form coming out of the race with Aussie Choice as well.
Yeah, when you look at that form, you look at that gap back to third, you've got to look at the next run of these horses. Aussie Choice has gone to Adelaide next start, he won by a margin next start, so big tick for New Universe. He's back, I think, third up.
Well, there's a look at one of the favourites. Let's have a look at another one of these now. It's First Hand, and we're going back to, well, this was just a great race, wasn't it? When it came second, didn't quite get there, but racing so well. And this is solid form lines too, Kubica Devata.
Yeah, this is simply a better race than what he races on Saturday. The start before this, he smashed the line at Randwick, if you remember, over 100 metres, surging late to win. The money absolutely poured in this day. First time to 1400 metres. The punters knew he was going to race well. His spot rating this day was enormous. He comes out of the pack, smashes the rest. Couldn't get Kubica Devata, but still a great run.
Still a great run. And you mentioned the money coming. I can see that happening on Saturday. Already a little nibble there. This is just a horse that tries.
Yeah, seriously good rating. Simply over 1400 metres. That's the best run of recent races in this race.
Well, there's a look at a couple of replays. Let's get stuck into all the form now, and of course the all-important key factors as we rip into this first leg of the quaddie. Take us through the form, Mike. Who's coming in with the gold bars?
Yeah, we've talked about First Hand. He's got the best rating. Light him up. He gets the gold bar for form.
There's the form. First Hand out in front as we get the race started. How about the first of the key factors, the good track?
Yeah, looking at good track. Look, most of them are okay. New Universe has some good track form, but we're slightly worried coming back from heavy track. Mary Orr, her best run was on the heavy track at the Provincial Championships.
Okay, so rounding the turn there, we've got stage of preparation to look at now.
Yeah, it really is Flo. First up, he wasn't ready to go. He was a bit keen in the yard, if you remember. So second up, big improvement for this Godolphin horse. He gets the gold bar for that factor.
Flo looking to level up to first hand as we hit the line with position in run.
It's the class horse that gets control of this race, near pace, off a steady tempo, slightly off rails. Thanks for coming. That's the right spot, we think.
Thanks for coming. First hand really puts in a big kicker there at the end. As we finish the race, look, there's three favourites in this race. Mike. It looks as though we've found one of them. It's a pretty big margin there to first hand. This is one of those races you just got to play these odds. We've got the three favourites there, but look at first hand right out in front, and it's the biggest price of those three favourites. So, look, to me, mate, this is just a good, solid each-way bet here. And anything else in behind?
Absolutely not. 350, 330, $4 for the top rider. Each way odds. We found one of the three, and he's the only play for us in this race. Just from that positioning run, he gets control, we think. Flo, a couple of negatives. New Universe getting back off the steady tempo. They both can win, but the factors are against. First hand each way. He's the only bet for us.
Only bet. Loving your confidence in the first leg of the quaddie. There it is, first hand as a standout there, as a best bet. Let's jump into the second leg now. We've got some good horses here. Single Bullet, Guard of Honour, and then 2XS and Bonhomie. These are horses that are just absolutely flying, Mike. But the heat's going to be on, highly geared. He's going to be right out there in front, setting a pretty good tempo, I'd imagine.
This is a cracking race. Is this a benchmark race? It looks like a Group 3 or listed race from the spring. There's some serious horses with absolutely no weight on their back. Benchmark 89, 1100 metres, a strong tempo, as you just mentioned, good 3 to good 4, and that off-rails bias, we think, but keep a close eye just in case. Across the three key factors, a bigger field here, so you've got to play position and run. That's a key factor for us. Rosehill Gardens, which is the power sprinters that love the flat, fast track, and Scope. There's some 3 and 4-year-olds on the rise.
All right, let's jump into the market for this second leg of the quaddie. And Bonhomie, this is a horse that pretty much goes favourite around every time in the 5 starts. And there it is again, $3.60 favourite for this race. Single Bullet, a runner seconds this spring now, off a little freshen at $4.60. Test the World ran on behind Bonhomie fresh at $5 there. Guard of Honour, a lot of good money here, in from $11 for Chris Lees, off a very quiet trial. 2XS, a little bit of a nibble there, in from $11 as well to $9.50. But Bonhomie, Mike, hasn't done much wrong for the punters. It's one of those punters' horses, isn't it? 4 for 5.
Yeah, and he just missed last start. He had a few things go against him last start, but thank God they did, because we were on that 50 to 70 to 1 winner.
Oh,
don't tease me, who is, 7 lengths clear, and we thought he was going to get beat, but it's not about him. He does win this race, but Bonhomie, 3 wide no cover with Rory Hutchings on this day. Didn't get much luck, fought on really well, and there's a few chasing him behind as well.
Yeah, a few chasing. Look, Bonhomie, I mean, went out, what was it, $1.30 to start before this. So look, just another really good run here. We're looking at Test the World. We've got Secret Trail, Test the World there in yellow, Secret Trail coming home in the red. But as you said, don't tease me, off and gone.
Yeah, a lot of people will like Test the World because she was not perfect in the yard first up, and there'll be improvements second up, but she stays at 1100 metres, which is a negative for us. Bonhomie, simply probably the best run in this race. You can forgive him for that for sure.
There's a forgive for the favourite from that race. Let's have a look at Guard of Honour, who just trialled so impressively, Mike. We've got to have a look at this. In the lead at the moment, and, well, we're going to see here, not really extended, and punters are going to be liking this.
Yeah, he's been gelded this preparation. He's got black type form at his best, so you watch these trials with focused attention to see how he's going, and there's nothing else you can take out of these replays, but apart from the fact that he seems to be absolutely flying. Obviously, the end of his last preparation was pretty poor, so punters might have a sour taste in their mouth after that. But first up, second up, he's pretty good. And like we said, he's gelded, which makes a big difference sometimes for these young horses.
Yeah, that is just absolutely jogging to the line, hands and heels. No, that's just great. Love seeing that. There's a look at the trial and a race. Let's get stuck into this, Mike. Let's have a look at the form and all the key factors for this second leg of the quaddie.
Quality race with lots of great form. The 3 favourites have the right form, but not much between them. Light up those faves.
There's the favourites, all with the good form. Position and run, the first of the key factors, Mike.
Yeah, strong tempo. You want to be between 2, 4, 5 lengths off the pace. Just getting a nice run in behind. Those 3 favourites drawn well, and they all get that gun spot.
Can't split the favourites for position and run. How about Rosehill track? Who loves it?
Yeah, a lot of horses like the Rosehill track, but their recent form is at Rosehill. We've been there for so many weeks, so we can't give them a kicker. 2XS has never been there before. He's a power horse. We think he'll lap it up.
Okay, 2XS joining the 3 favourites there. What about Scope? Who's going to finish this one off the best?
Yeah, the 3 and the 4-year-old, we think Single Bullet freshened up. Still more improvement to come. He's only won 1 race so far, but he'll win more. Guard of Honour, like we said, gelding can give a horse a lot of scope.
So Single Bullet and Guard of Honour there. A little bit of X factor for the ones that had the best key factors, all importantly, Mike. Well, look, we had 4 standouts there as we had a look at the market. We've got to, I mean, this is all about a bet, right? We've got to find the right price. The money's been coming for a few of these. We had Guard of Honour come in a bit there. We had 2XS. They're the ones that are looking like the money horses, Mike. I mean, $9.50 there, 2XS just in behind the pacing, but Guard of Honour on top. I don't know, they look like the bets to me in this sort of race. Good each way value for those.
Yeah, they've got to be 4 on top. Choosing between the horses, you've got to go for value. If you like Single Bullet, don't let's put you off. Bonamy, we think will be right in the mix. But Guard of Honour 2XS, they're simply better odds than the rest. So Guard of Honour on top, perfect run just behind the pace. He's been gelded, he could be a better horse. And 2XS we think will be a much better horse at Rosehill, and his form's already good.
All right, so Guard of Honour just on top there. At the value, why not? That's all we're here to do on Key Factors. There's a look at the first 2 legs of the quaddie. Stick around and we'll wrap up the last legs after the break. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We've knocked over the first 2 legs of the quaddie. Now it's time for the 3rd leg, and we've got the 1200 metre race to kick us off after the break, Mike. And Brave Song for Team Snowden, back in action, but geez, I think punters have got to be wary here. Horse number 15, barrier number 15, and the favourite. Yeah, and Winona Costa on board. We love Winona. We're on Team Winona like everyone else, but 1 win from the last 50. What do you do with this favourite? Really hard favourite to line up. Let's look at the way this race sets up. The 3rd leg of the quaddie, like Stu said, benchmark 80, 1200 metres. Another race with not too much tempo, steady to fair. There's one particular horse that'll go forward and get control. A good track, we think, an off-rails bias, we think, after it's been chopped up the last few weeks. So across to the 3 key factors, we're playing position and run again. We're playing jockey, we mentioned Winona before, and a couple of other jockeys who are potentially out of form, and power. Which horse has the sprint on the dry, fast Rosehill track? We will find out when we go through the key factors. Let's firstly have a look at the market for this 3rd leg of the quaddie. We're 2 legs down. There's Brave Song, as I said, drawn the car park in 15, but still holding favouritism at $3.60. Drakenfels in good form for James Cummings, $4.80. The Hipster won a year ago on debut, then spelled for nearly a year, so interesting lining up there. Pipeline, well, there's another with a long time off and then a solid fresh one, $8.50. Lanciato fresh for Mark Newman, but no real moves in this race, Mike, and punters still just trying to figure this one out. Yeah, hard one to line up. Brave Song, like we said, the trials were okay. He won well last preparation. We're not going to look at him. Drakenfels just won at Randwick last start. But we're going to look at the same track, same distance at Rosehill a couple of weeks ago, 1,200 metres on a dry track, and a form race that we're not too sure about. Star Reflection just behind the pace in the blue. Pipeline first up after a long break. He's in the red and yellow running on out wider. Yeah, I was interested to see what Pipeline would do here. A little bit of a break now to second up. Always a question. You mentioned the shakiness. This is best guess they were chasing this day. Yes, good win, but had the red carpet all rolled out. What do we do with this form? Yeah, we questioned this form last time, didn't we? And best guess came out was one of the favourites next start and got beat quite comprehensively. The time out of this race wasn't strong. It was 110 plus on a dry Rosehill, which is not that great. So the 2 runs for 2nd and 3rd are pretty strong, but there's got to be some question marks after best guess got beaten so badly. All right, well, there's a look at one replay. And, Mike, this other one, I mean, most of the hipsters in Sydney, they generally hang out east, but this one's been hanging out Hawkesbury way, which is, well, let's face it, one of your favourite tracks to bet on, mate. Oh, it's so hard to predict the form from Hawkesbury, isn't it? And what a great name, the Hipster. There'll be a lot of my mates out there who will love this horse. He's on pace here. He won his first start ever, like Stu said, a year ago at Hawkesbury. And you think out of these 2 races we're looking at, you think the Rosehill form is going to be better compared to this Hawkesbury form. But they ran 102 flat. Marble, who beat him, was a fantastic horse who had the gun run that day. And Liz Donovan came out and won next start at Warwick Farm. So this could be the form race. It could be form. I like the way he just showed a little bit of fight too. Those on-pace type did show a bit of kick. Could be good for Rosehill. Yeah, tactical speed with a kick. You said it all, Stu. People love those types of horses at Rosehill Gardens. There's a look at a couple of replays. Let's get this race started now, Mike. Let's take us through the form and then all the key factors. Let's get rip into it. Yeah, like the 2nd leg of the quaddie, not much between these horses on form. Brave Song, after his last start defeat, we can't give him the gold bar. There's 4 others we can. Light them up. They get the gold bar for form. 4 with the form, including weight and watch at about $15. So let's get stuck into these key factors now. Position in run, Mike. Yeah, we mentioned a steady tempo. We saw the Hipster on pace getting control. He gets the gold bar leading at his leisure. Wait and Watch can go outside him first up, so gold bar for him as well. The Hipster and Wait and Watch as we come around the turn, and the jockey, an interesting key factor. We feel terrible doing this, don't we? But Winona Costa's won from her last 50, so she doesn't get the gold bar for Brave Song. A man of choice, the apprentice, hasn't been winning too much lately. Most of the other jockeys are pretty sound. Okay, more negative for the favourite Brave Song there as we hit the line with all-important power at Rosehill. Yeah, looking for proper 1,200 metre sprinters that can quicken. Drakenfels is slow to begin, but he's got big power. The Hipster can kick as well, so can Brave Song fresh.
Torpenhow, he's not a 1400, 1500 metre horse. He's a 1200 metre horse that can sprint.
So it's the hipster powering home there. Drachenfels, Torpenhow, they're right there as well. But it's the hipster, Mike. I can just see that power. You said it on the turn, a little bit of a ping. Drachenfels and Torpenhow there. But you've mentioned this a few times. I mean, we've talked about the favourite here. I mean, for the lay punters out there, is this the one to just have a lay, or are we going to back a few? How are we going to play this race? This seems all up in the air to me.
Yeah, completely terrified of Brave Song. He's there. He looks like a lay, doesn't he? He looks like you want to press the red button and go way against him. But I'm not sure I will be, because he's first up and he could be backed, so we'll keep an eye on him. But the hipster's on top. The hipster gets the lead. He gets control at a steady tempo. So he's the one for us. He's just a great each-way bet when you know he's going to get the right spot on the run. And Tim Martin, he trains at Rosehill, doesn't he? And Torpenhow, an underrated 1200 metre horse that trialled okay. We think he'll firm on Saturday.
Okay, so it's the hipster there in the third leg of the quaddie. Seems like an open leg to me. Let's jump into the last leg. And old mate Gold Ambition trying to get win number 3 from 30, I think it is, Mike. And talking of old mates, Robbie Thompson hits the town. I think he's got just the one ride. It's on the Gosford horse Invicta, who's absolutely flying, winning 4 out of the last 5, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 horses there. One's got Group 1 form and one's simply a proper racehorse that's racing in the country and loves smashing the line. Let's have a look at the way they shape up in the last leg of the quaddie. It looks like another tricky one on paper. Benchmark 83, 1500 metres. There's a few going forward this time, so he should get a fair tempo, good track, and almost definitely off rails by this stage of the day, unless it's really firm. Playing good track is one of the key factors to finish off. Which horses like the dry track? Rosehill Gardens. Which horses like the firm, fast conditions and stage of preparation? There's some horses second and third up, ready to peak.
Let's have a look at the market now for this last leg of the quaddie. Hope you're all still alive into the last leg. And it's the Avenger. Punters keen to forgive last start, went wide. $4.40 favourite. Cellamance, the stablemate, in from $6. Going well this prep. Bastia coming off the big win at Port Macquarie, not far behind, $8. King Darcy there, and then the stablemate Rogish. So could we see the old Timmy Martin stable plunge here? But this looks like a pretty juicy betting race in the day, Mike. $4.40 the field.
Yeah, especially when the Avenger got flogged last start, first up. So another favourite like Brave Song. We absolutely don't know what to do with him. But we'll have a look at a couple of replays, starting with Gold Ambition first up over 1400 metres, a horse that was wide in the market and wide in the run. He doesn't have the best winning record in the world, but this is a pretty good form race, and he's very, very wide there, Stu. Do you forgive this horse in the red?
Oh, very wide in the red. Look, non-winner. They're not my horses at all, but I keep just looking back here, not beaten far, and seem to try, but that's his style.
Yeah, he's a try. He's usually around the mark. He's always each way or place bet maybe. His second up form is pretty strong. We'll get to the key factors in a second, and he has every right to tie after that wide run. Look, that's a pretty good run in this race.
It was a decent run. Let's have a look at Rogish. This is also a very good run. As you said, from the Timmy Martin stable in the blue and white here, up just behind the speed, and this was a good finish.
Yeah, he's the only horse in this race that has ever won in Rosehill Gardens. The total stats, I think, for this race is 1 win, which is this win, out of 43 starts, Stu. So we've got to look at this from last preparation. No, he's just off the pace, like we said. He's quickening up, going past a horse called Dreamforce. They were both on pace, off a strong tempo, which means the runs were genuine runs, proper runs. He fights on well. He's at his home track. You've got to give him some big ticks on Saturday, don't you, Stu?
You love a good stat, mate. 1 from 43, and this is the winner. Dreamforce, we know that horse loves the Rosehill track, so that's got to be good form.
Yeah, if he does that on Saturday, he wins, because not many horses in this field can win at Rosehill.
All right, there's a few stats from the stat man, Mike Wood. Let's get stuck into this now, Mike. Who's bringing in all the good form into the last leg?
Yeah, what do you do with the Avenger? First up, terrible run. Obviously, he was decent last prep, but we can't give him a gold bar. Sellerman and Bastia, after that huge first up win, they get the gold bar for us.
Silliman and Bastia out in front with the form as we rip into the key factors. The first one, the good track, Mike.
Yeah, the Avenger okay on a good track. Silliman too. Bastia coming to a firm track, a bit of a risk. He's a tough on pace type. King Darcy desperate for some rain. Might have to put him away and wait for the winter, I think.
Silliman just edges clear there, but a lot of them love it. How about Rosehill? Do they all love it there too?
Well, the Avenger's never been there before, but we'll give him a tick. He's the favourite. He's coming to his home track and he can quicken. All pluses for him. Rogish, we know why he gets the gold bar. The only winner at Rosehill.
Rogish and the Avenger joining in. This is looking tight, Mike. Look at all those as we head to stage of preparation. Who is at their peak?
Well, we were hoping one particular horse would be at their peak and be the obvious winner, but Gold Ambition's the one down the bottom, second up. He loves it second up. He gets the gold bar for us.
I was hoping stage of preparation was going to help me, Mike. That didn't do anything at all. This looks completely stacked. Is this one of those races where we're just going to have to look a little few bets? We're going to go for value. We're going to have a small stake. How are we going to play this one? You've given us no lead there.
I've given you no lead, and our confidence is absolutely shocking. Sellerman going well, big weight. Roguish third up, he needs to improve. He likes Rosehill. Cold Ambition never wins. So we'll go straight to the best bets, and you can guess we're going to go so wide in this leg of the quaddie, you won't believe it. Roguish on pace, third up for Tim Martin after a freshen. Watch the market, the stable likes to bet. And Gold Ambition, if you back him, each way or place, please, he rarely wins.
Each way or place, rarely wins. Can only sentiment what you've just said there. Mike, on to the quaddie this weekend. Look, last weekend we didn't get the quad, but Egyptian Symbol really found its way home as one of the best bets of the day. Sounds like we're going to start this one pretty early. A lot of confidence I can see here, and I don't mind coming home wide in the last. That's race 9. We're allowed to do that.
No, you don't mind that, but you think we're going to go this wide, Stu? I mean, this is skinny, and then massively fat towards the end of the day. First hand, chips in on Blake McDougall in the first leg. No pressure, mate. We just hope to get the job done at $4. That'll be great. He's got one of our runners bottom me in the second leg as well, but single bullet, guard of honour, or 2XS will do us, especially 2XS at the odds. And opening up for the last 2 legs, playing a big cover drive, 7 runners, then 7 runners. We are not confident, but we still get 50%.
Well, 50% could be good enough because a few roughies there in those last 2 legs. So some confidence to start and some roughies there to finish. That's the way we hope we're going to play it. Tune into the raceguide.com.au for all your feature race profiles. We're back to a good track at Rosehill. You're going to want that horse that can power and can sprint. That's what we want to see at Rosehill. But that's it from all of us. We hope you jag a little piece or a big piece of that quaddie and a few of those best and value bets as well.
Cheers. See you next week.
Bye-bye.